one by the EDL. Woo! Goes like this. Those who seek power over our communities typically attempt to divide us along ethnic lines, and some young guns fall for it every single time, and that's why education should be free, and that's the reason that we tell each other stories, not his story, and why we're loyal to friends and family, not land or flag or queen. But listen up, how deep is your love? How big is the family? Is the family big enough to include all of we? Because if we expand our definition of community, maybe our community won't be so divided and weak, subject to repeated attacks from the usual suspects of the taxes and flags. If we can't share land, we don't need a defence league. They're only an embarrassment to their apparently beloved country. Like the Daily Mail, they are offended by broad social trends and the demographics of the East End. But when you fight them in the street, you only validate their fantasy of being an oppressed minority. There's more fascists in Westminster than there are in Burnley. I'm more worried about the violent psychopaths in Parliament than the undereducated racist fools running around barking. Both have a history of unprovoked violence against people of different races, but we all know which are more dangerous. The powerful that taught us to fear and hate other races now blithely dismiss racists as retarded, and once again violence is perpetrated by those whose faces are a whiter shade of pale. Now check this. Categories were invented in the 16th century to justify colonialism and slavery, and we still all deal with that legacy today and say we can't possibly be racist. Look at the corridors of power and you see dark faces in high places, which is some old bullshit, meaning basically I can't be racist, I've got a black mate. It's not guilt for guilt's sake, for history I didn't make all the violence and subjugation that made Britain great, but my hometown was built on the slave trade. Check the place names with the material advantages on this side of the world. It's the mind state that's ill, not the race that's powerful. It's survival guilt that makes us mentally ill, because we're still less likely to be killed by preventable disease, terrorism or other government policies than our long-lost siblings overseas. But check it, borders don't even keep money inside, because capital can travel wherever it likes. It's people that must go begging or hide to cross arbitrary imaginary lines. Capital flight and economic depression create perfect conditions for the rise of fascism, but that game's been played. Forget nation states. National pride was killed by global culture and markets, which if you think about it, might make us more civilized, because we can expand the family to include everyone alive. See, we mostly just want to be family, son, and it ain't no fun if your homies can't get none.